There we go. And if anyone's cooking dinner or feels ugly, you can turn your camera off. We don't have to have the cameras on. I thought I was having like technical difficulties when there were no faces. So yay. I'm so happy to see all your beautiful faces.
Is mine all squished?
Yeah, you're like in a little rectangle at the top. Let me see if I can find a better view. But I don't know if that's just my screen.
No, like my box is like half off the screen and I can't figure out how to get it on my screen.
Oh, there we did. I did a large gallery. So on the top right, it says view. Do you guys see that?
Right.
Yeah.
And large galleries seemed pretty good. And I think it's only showing the faces. And then the people that are up at the top.
That better?
So.
Yeah.
Aha.
Yay. Can everyone see everyone?
Yay, technology.
Oh, but now I just realized I need to move this over so I can get my agenda up here. Let me see if I can.
Yeah, I'm using
if I'm enough to do that. Oh, I think I did it. One moment. Okay. I think I'm there. All right, welcome everybody. If you guys haven't noticed, we have one new face. Chloe, thank you so much for being here. You can just wave if you don't want to unmute yourself.
Hi,
so Chloe is going to be interning here for the entire month of June. So I wanted her to be able to meet you guys. And we'll have her actually introduce herself a little bit later. I thought, that's really mean to make her go first if she hasn't been to these meetings before. So I thought we could all go introduce ourselves first, and then Chloe will let you go last. And so that way you can kind of see like, okay, that's what we're doing. So this is something we've done before. Just tell us, your name, what you do, just the horse related thing that you do. How about that? And anything else interesting you'd like, but let's keep it to maybe like 2 minutes a piece. Does that sound doable for everybody?
Oh, and by the way, I'm sorry to interrupt, but it looks like Sandy's having issues logging on.
Oh, okay.
She said every time she logs on, it seems to be logging her out. So I am paying attention. I'm just trying to, I'm going to help her.
You figure out Sandy and hopefully we can get her on here.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Does anyone like to go? I guess I could go first. I'm here and I'm talking, so I'll go first. So Chloe, I'm Jill. We've sent lots of emails back and forth, and I'm the owner at Wild Song Ranch, but I am not a horse practitioner like the rest of these guys are, or ladies are. But I do like to go out and feed the horses every day. So that's the fun thing that I get to do. I have the greatest job. I really do, because all I do is I take this yummy stuff out to the horses and I say, here, can you eat your grain for me? And they gladly say yes. And then they eat their grain and they say, oh, you did a good job. And that is all I do with the horses. So I'm not asking hard things. Oh no, who did that view? Who did that? I'm putting it back to a large gallery. It's funny though, because whenever someone does it, it does it for everybody. So it's kind of funny. But anyway, so that is my job, is I feed horses every day. So it's lots of fun. Let's see, who else would like to, oh, and we've been here for 5 years. Maybe I could tell you that. And we currently have 2 horses here ourselves. We have a tiny little pony and we have our older guy, Marky, and he's pretty cute. So that's me. Who would like to go next? Or I can just go in, kind of in the circle. I'll start with the faces that I see. Jackie, do you want to go?
Hi, I'm Jackie Ashley. I do equine facilitated psychotherapy for decades now. I am a somatic oriented psychotherapist with a degree in dance therapy. So creative arts therapy, somatics, and equine, and mindfulness. I kind of mix that all together. I love doing groups. So right now I have 2 women's groups going. I have a addiction recovery group from the Rose House that meets weekly. And then I have a women's healing group on Saturday mornings. And I have a Dear Precious Horse Ginny on at Wild Song. And I am collaborating now with Rachel and Macy.
Thank you.
Collaborators.
That sounds like a good segue. Maybe we should do Rachel or Macy next. When do we want to go?
I can go since I just finished chewing. I was a little nervous. I was gonna have to go first.
That was a great time.
I was eating grilled cheese. Yeah. Oh, it was so good. Yeah, so I'm Macy. I also am an equine assisted therapy practitioner. I have my own practice called Animal Talk Therapy, and then joining Jackie to create a group practice as well. I don't have, we're timeout.
Don't you have a really important announcement that you want to tell us today?
Do I?
I think so. I think you announced it into somewhere else.
Yes, I got my license yesterday. It feels like it's been such long days, so I'm like, I don't even know what day it was or is. But yeah, finally, I went back and forth for like 3 or 4 weeks with Dora, and I finally got my full license. So I am officially a licensed therapist. Super excited about that. Yeah, thanks, Jill. I would have not like it's been so long.
I put it in my notes. I was like, this is important. We've got to put this.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's I'm excited about it. It's a pretty big deal. Thanks, Sandy. Yeah, so yeah, that's what I'm doing. And I don't have a horse there, but I do lease Erin's horse, Sedona, once a week and get to hang out with her and snuggle. And yeah, that's me. I'm happy to answer more questions.
Thank you, Macy.
Yeah.
All right, Rachel, do you want to go next?
Sure. Hi, everybody. Let's see. I was a little distracted during the intros because I have Bridget on the phone here on speakerphone. She couldn't log in.
Yeah.
So I was trying to help her get set up. I think we're just doing introductions, right?
Yeah. So we have Chloe here interning for the month of June. So I thought we should all introduce ourselves first, and then we're going to have her introduce herself to all of us.
Okay. So I'm Rachel, and I am an old boarder from Wild Song. I have 2 horses. They're no longer at Wild Song right now. And I'm a fairly new practitioner. I'm in my first month at Wild Song as a practitioner. And I am a licensed therapist. And I've done some groups with Jackie. I did a practicum with Jackie when I was in my graduate program at Naropa. So I've kind of been dabbling in equine therapy for a while, and I'm currently in a equine coaching program right now, and just really loving the work and excited to be a practitioner.
Thank you. All right, Sandy, did you hear what we're doing? We're just doing quick introductions, like maybe keeping it to 2 minutes, and it's for our new intern who's coming soon, Chloe. So we're just introducing ourselves really quickly and letting her know what we do.
Okay, great. I can jump in if you want me to.
That sounds great.
Okay, Sandy Wettenkamp, and I have been a certified coach through Kathy Pike's Academy of Coaching with Horses since 2017, finally getting into the work. So I don't have any horses at Wild Song, but I have been a lifelong partner since childhood with horses. And that's 2 minutes or less. Sorry, that's all I got.
That's perfect. Thank you. Okay, now I'll go to the pictures that I actually. So the thing is, I have this recording thing right in front of the people that I can't see. So I'm just going to have to try to remember who all's there. So does anyone who is not showing their face want to go next? Because I can't actually see. It's blocked by a little message on my screen that I can't see. Yay.
I'll go. I'm
That
happy
sounds
to go.
great. Is that Allison down there?
Yep, that's me. Hello, Chloe. Welcome. And hi, everybody else. I'm Allison McCabe. I usually have a hat on But you're probably going to recognize me. And I am an EFP practitioner. I'm working at Wild Song with individual clients. I mostly work with folks who are working through complex trauma, acute trauma, and I do work with veterans, teens and families and parents. And I have a horse in the neighborhood, and I also work somewhere else in the neighborhood. So I'm in the hood at 65th and Nelson. That's what I do. So hope to see you around. Welcome.
Awesome. Thanks, Allison. All right. Anyone want to go next? Who would like to go next?
I'll go. It's Erin.
Erin,
Show my
okay.
face. Hi. I'm going to go back to cooking though.
Yes.
My name's Erin, and I'm also an EFP practitioner and coach at Wild Song, although I've been working in my office more these days than at the ranch as a therapist. I have Sedona and Elby, 4-year-old Elby out there. They're on the same track. And lately, I've been working with a lot of teen girls and adults, also somatically oriented, natural lifemanship and learning Equisoma.
There we go.
Yeah. I'm finishing up a Rites of Passage girls group, and they're all coming over to my house on Saturday with their families. So I'm having 20 people over here for their ceremony. So I'm really excited. And I'm doing retreats and day-long mindfulness and horses programs in the fall. And yeah, welcome.
Thanks, Erin. All right, who do we have next?
I have Bridget on the phone if it's okay if she
Okay,
goes.
yeah, let's see if we can do that. Let's see if it works.
Can you talk, Bridget, and see if everyone hears you?
Can everybody hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, I hear you.
Let me turn it up a little. Okay, go for it.
Great. So just brief background. My name's Bridget. I've been facilitating equine work since 2017, and my work is in the equine coaching camp, but I'm doing a lot of training in somatic therapy work and craniosacral therapy in the last couple of years. That's really informing kind of the heart of what I care about and what I'm kind of stewing in as a practitioner and human.
Thank you, Bridget. That was awesome that we could hear you. Yay. Okay, who do we have? I can't see names, so I feel like we are missing. Have we heard from everyone?
Allison? No, we just heard
We
from
heard from Allison. Yeah, I see 4 things that I'm like, did we see maybe we did see everybody.
And there's no pictures.
All right, Sam, I guess it's you then.
Oh, hi. I think you all know me. Well, most of you all know me. Chloe, welcome. We're excited to have you. And I think you'll find Wild Song to be a really great community of women and Todd. And women, Todd, and a couple of others. But yeah, and our practitioners who are so awesome. And you know, you're going to be in great hands and you're going to learn a lot. And we're so pleased to have you here. I am sort of trying to still find my role here on the leadership team. So we're hoping to have those roles down, you know, specifics, so to speak. So, you know, everyone knows who to call when and for what issues. But I'm here to help if you have any questions.
Thank you, Sam.
Sure.
All right, Chloe, it is your turn. Also, I just have to say, well, maybe I'll go after you. I'll say it after you're done.
Okay. Hi, everybody. I'm Chloe. So I have ridden horses since I was I think I was 11 when I first started. And I absolutely fell in love with it. My very first horse, Penny, was used in therapeutic riding. So I got to watch her do all these different lessons. And I absolutely just fell in love watching them. And so then throughout college, I've been able to volunteer for the program we have at NMSU and just fell in love with helping and everything. So I'm really excited to come and to learn kind of the ins and outs and everything about it. But yeah, thanks for having me.
Awesome. And so here's the fun thing. Can I tell them how, like, our connection, how we know each
Oh
other?
yeah.
Okay. So this is really funny. I'm looking at your background. I'm like I know that place so well. So Chloe and her family moved into Todd's parents' home when they moved. So she is in the home that Todd grew up in. And that his parents lived in. So I'm like, I recognize the kitchen. Like, she's
Yeah.
in the kitchen. I can tell. Those are the cabinets they put in. That's the wall. Anyway, so yeah, it's like really weird seeing you in the house. I'm like, oh my gosh. So that's how we got connected. Yeah. So I just thought it was kind of fun. Thank you so much for being here. And I told Chloe, I said, introduce yourself, meet the people, and then the rest of the stuff is probably going to be kind of boring. I don't think it's going to mean much to you. So, so you are welcome to step on out if you want to, and then we'll see you on June 3rd. Oh wait, yes, I heard somebody.
Maybe I missed it, but
Mhm.
Chloe, what are you interning for or as?
So
Did you
she's
say
here
that?
at Wild Song. So she'll be doing like
Yeah.
regular shift work, but she is interested in all the therapeutic stuff that's going on. And
Oh,
so I was thinking, so she's going to be doing normal shift work at Wild Song, but then if anyone's looking for horse handling for groups, I'm thinking, you know, stuff like that would probably be things that you'd be interested in. Does that sound about right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and she said, I'm willing to do all the things. So, yeah.
So how do we connect
That's
with
amazing.
you, Chloe? And when will you be here? And where will you be staying? And all that stuff.
Yeah, she's staying with us. June 3rd is the date. Yeah, how would you like me to put your contact information out there?
I don't know. Probably the easiest is like my phone number. Text me. But
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we can put that in the practitioner group.
Okay.
So, okay, if that's okay with you.
Yeah. That's
So
awesome.
we're going to give your number out to like 10 people.
Okay. That works.
Yeah. Yeah. Any other questions for Chloe? I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, I think I missed it, but how long are you going to be doing your internship?
So just for the month of June.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Anybody else? All right. Then we'll say goodbye for now, and we'll see you in a couple weeks.
Bye, Chloe.
Bye.
Thank
It was nice to
you.
meet you guys.
Thank you.
Thanks for jumping on. She's so cute. Okay.
Adorable.
I can say that now that she's gone. Yeah, I'm really excited for her. Really sweet, and she's got horse skills. So I know that's one thing that you guys tend to look for with your horse handlers and things like that. So I think she's going to be a really good fit. And she'll be at my house, so she'll be pretty easy to find. So, all right, we're going to move on then. Thank you everybody for getting your contracts in. Yay! I just forgot to throw that out there. Horse partners. Okay, so we're going to do an update on our horse partners. Major went to his new home today. So it's weird. Like, we've known for how long that he was going to go, and then it just kind of snuck up on us. I'm like, oh, it's today. So he went this morning, but he's going to a really great place with a really great new person. So we're excited for him. I think it's actually going to be really good for him. Another reminder is Gestoro. Just a reminder, he's now on the trading track permanently. I think that was true at the last meeting, but maybe not. So he's moved to the trading track. And this is just kind of a heads up. This hasn't happened yet, but Simba will be integrating onto the Jerry track. He'll be taking Major's place. So that's going to happen over several weeks. We're going to have to do like a nice slow integration, but Simba will be eventually moving there. And then I kind of hesitate to bring this up, but I will. So Marky is kind of had another one of his little episodes today where he was not doing great. And so we've been talking with Dr. Sarah, and I did tell her, I said, let me know when you think it's time. And I think we're getting to that point. So if you know Mr. Markey and you would like to go and wish him well, you can do that. So we're tentatively looking at Monday afternoon to say goodbye. Why did I bring this up at the beginning of the meeting? Anyway, so and if something goes downhill between now and then, obviously it'll be sooner, but the plan right now, we're trying to wait for people to get back. Marianne just went out for her procedure. Elizabeth just left town, so we're trying to hold out until Monday afternoon. But, that is the update on him. So if anyone would like to say hello, goodbye, you're welcome to do that. He would probably enjoy that. And then another update for another horse. We have a lot of horse updates today. Annabelle is no longer available for practitioners. I know she currently has some sessions scheduled, and I talked to Misty about it, and she said she thought there was only one scheduled on Friday, and she said, okay, do the last one on Friday, but I know
I
that
changed it, Jill.
going. Oh, you changed it.
Yeah, because I talked to Misty.
Okay, okay. Yeah, and I asked her, I said, what's the cutoff date? And I hadn't heard back yet, but she's off the schedule for now. I know I'm missing one. Oh, metabolic track.
Yeah.
So just something to consider if you're working with any of the horses on the metabolic track. They are on the metabolic track usually for a reason. So Jackie, I appreciate that. You came and asked me, can baby girl have grass for a few minutes? Yeah, a few minutes for baby is fine. But yeah, I definitely wouldn't want that happening every day. So just check your spaces, make sure you're not going to a space or taking them to a space that has a lot of greens or anything like that. Maybe check with their owners if you wonder if a space might be okay or not, just as far as diet goes. So just something to consider with the metabolic track. Any questions on that? Or
Yeah,
yeah.
we've increased the hay on the metabolic track a little bit.
We increased the hay for the winter. Yeah. Yeah. And we
Okay,
haven't decreased it yet.
Because Ginny's gaining some weight.
Oh, I wonder if she's getting to greens. So we did get the tracks mowed.
Well, she
the
is
edge.
getting some grass with me, and of course I haven't been able to exercise her as much.
Okay.
So that could be, but I know the hay increased for the winter, and I was just wondering if
Yeah,
it will
well,
be.
It will be
going
decreased.
back
So we had
down.
the hay increase for the winter, plus we had an integration, and we don't want to. That just stresses them out a little bit more if then there's also resource guarding during an integration. So we didn't back it down, right when LB got there. We wanted to wait until LB and Bristol were more fully integrated before we backed down the hay a little bit. So that's kind of what we were waiting for. Yeah.
And
but
is there a top limit of horses on the metabolic track? Like
I think it's full right now. Yeah, there is a max. I think we're at a max, I believe. Yeah.
Okay, I don't know how many that is. I could count it as 7.
Because I know the minis counted as like 2 minis counted as one, and so I'm trying to remember because now we just have a 1 mini, so I'm like, is that half a horse? So I don't remember the max, but I wanted to say 7 was the max. That's the number that I have in my head. Is that how many we have? We've got Sedona and LB, Ginny,
Barton.
Baby, Barton, Bristol. Who am I missing? Esperanza. That's 7. Yeah, so I think so unless we added another mini, yeah, because I guess it's 6.5 if you if baby's a half. Yeah, but we're at our max there unless there's a pony. So any other questions about horses or comments? Like, have you worked with any horses that you say, hey, I noticed this and I want to share? Okay. All right, then we will move down. I feel like we're going to fly through this meeting.
Right.
Jill,
Yeah.
I do have a question about spaces. Is that okay to bring up now?
So we have spaces coming up as our number 4. Do you want to do it then? Okay,
yeah, that's
cool.
fine.
Yeah, it'll come up. So if I don't bring it up, then bring it up for sure. Yeah. Okay. So procedural and scheduling reminders. We just want to remind everyone. So I had a hard few weeks. So I was sick for about 8 days and I was trying not to be dead, but I was. Anyway, and then right after that, my phone broke and I had like no access to my texts and I just couldn't get to a bunch of things. And so I had people trying to contact me. So just as a reminder, when you have something that you need to contact us about, make sure to include 2 people. So if it's an email, at least 2. Like you could include more than that, but at least 2. So that way, if one of us is down and out, at least the other person will see it and you'll be able to get a response. So I just felt like I should probably bring that up again because that happened, it was like a whole, like almost 2-week period where I did not have, and I had told the leadership team, guys, my cell phone's not working, but I don't think I announced it to practitioners or anything. So I just had things that I found later, and yeah. So make sure to text at least 2 of us or email at least 2 of us.
Either you and Sam or Bailey.
I was just going to say, yeah, I was just going to update that too. So one of the people should not be Elizabeth. So she is off of all things practitioner. So she's still our head trainer here. So if you had like a question about horse behavior or something like that, or training or lessons, obviously that's Elizabeth. But any practitioner related stuff, yeah, she has not been in the loop on any of these things for probably at least 6 to 8 weeks now. So so that would be me, Bailey, Sam, Marianne is still helping train. So any of those 4, any combination of that. So good.
Jill,
Okay, one more scheduling. Yeah.
can we create sometime? I have some questions about horse partners or curiosities.
Oh yeah. I mean, do you want to do that now? Or is it just for me?
Well, no, it's more of like I've noticed I went on the scheduler, Toby's still on there, and there's a few
So
horses that
we cleaned that up, I think either last night or the night before.
yeah, okay.
So hopefully, if you still see one though, let me know, because I went through it too and I was like, Toby's on there. So yeah, Todd, please. And I don't have access to that. That's Todd, so I have to send him a text and have him remove all the things. So yeah, if you guys see something weird like that, it probably just got missed. So yeah, feel free to send. You could send me and Todd a text, I guess, if it's about the scheduler.
Yeah.
Scheduling questions. Todd's a good person to include on that. So
even though I often work with Sedona, I've been noticing that there's less and less choices for horses to work with. And
yeah,
so,
we have a lot of new horses, and I think some of them will probably be integrated into the practitioner program, but they have not yet, just because they're new.
There's some in there.
So yeah,
okay.
hopefully that will improve in over the next like 4 to 6 weeks, I would think, as everyone gets in. Yeah. I hadn't thought about that. We had a lot of our horses that moved.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. Any other questions, comments about horse partners, concerns?
I have a question. This is Rachel. I'm just onboarding, so this might get covered in my onboarding, but if I was going to start working with one of the practitioner horses, could I spend a little time with that horse beforehand, like just to get to know them and just spend a little time?
I think, yeah, that would be a great thing to do. And what we do recommend is before you partner with any horse, contact the owner.
Okay.
Yeah, so contact the owner directly. I'm interested in partnering with your horse. This is what I do. Does that sound okay to you? Is there anything I need to know about your horse? Can I meet your horse? Can I spend some time with your horse? And I'm pretty sure any owner, is going to say, oh, yes, please, go hang out with my horse and see what you think and get to know him or her. Yeah. So,
okay, great.
Yeah, contact the owner directly to work with horse. And that helps. It goes a long way with the owners too. Another thing that we've talked about, it was probably before you were here, is after you've partnered with a horse, if you send a little text like, oh, so-and-so was great today, really enjoyed working with your horse. They did this, or they were helpful with that, that goes a long way too. So.
Okay, great. Thanks.
Yeah, great question. Yeah. Anybody else? Okay. One other scheduling reminder, we have an event, like a personal one for our family on Saturday afternoon. There could be some parking issues. We're hoping not, because we're going to allow people to park in front of our house, obviously, too. But a lot of times the directions go to the parking lot. And so I'm sure there will be people parked there as well. So if you run out of space in the parking lot, you're welcome to park along the grass, like just north of the parking lot. Well, on both sides of the road, north of the parking lot, if that makes sense. But I think, I mean, all the people, they'll be at our house. They'll be in our house in the backyard. So they're not going to be in the spaces you'd be working with, just maybe in the parking lot. So any questions about that one? All right. Okay, now we're up to the spaces. Macy, do you want to bring up your question first, or do you want me to tell you what we were going to say and then see if it relates?
It's quick. I've been in the woodland pen doing sessions, and I love it back there so much. But
Awesome.
and I haven't been out since last weekend, but the foliage on the bottom is very, very thick. And
Awesome.
so I didn't know if it was going to maybe be mowed or.
Yes, this is exactly. So we were going to ask which spaces are people using so that we can keep them mowed. So that was our question. So if you have the grass round pen that you're working in on the west side, the woodlands pen, the campground, the pond area, those are all places that would need to be mowed. So yeah, that was my question. So Macy Woodlands pen is what I'm hearing. Cool. So yes, we can get that mowed. Anyone else have spaces that they are thinking of working in?
Yeah. Could it be weed whacked or mowed around the new round pen between the tracks?
The new round pen. Oh yeah, I didn't think about that one. Let me write that down because that one wasn't on my radar.
If there's a hay bag, it's great, but then they head to the fence and start eating the grass on the other side of the fence. So if that could be mowed a foot or so out.
What is the new round pen? Are you mean the central one, or is there a new
one?
one?
I think we renamed that, didn't we? Is it the central?
Yeah.
Round pen?
What is it now? The central round pen?
Yeah.
Central.
So it was, yes, that was the new round pen 4 years ago or whenever it was new. And then we finally realized the new round pen doesn't seem very new anymore. It needs repairs. So we tried to rename that, but I think some of us are still stuck calling it the new round pen, but central round pen. Is that right?
Yep.
Yeah. See, I couldn't even remember. Okay. I'm sending a text to Todd right now, so I won't forget. So that's outside of the central / new. So he knows what I'm talking about. Round pen. Woodlands area. And then any other, is anyone using the west round pen, the grass round pen?
I was down there today, but I don't need it mowed because actually I was down there without a horse.
Oh, okay. And I think Todd actually did mow it fairly recently.
Really? Way down at the end of the tracks?
I think he said that. Yeah.
Maybe
I'm thinking something else. I think he also mowed the campground. Like he kind of went crazy.
Yeah. Well, I know the pond looked great. That was, I mean, there's still grass there, but
yeah. Oh yeah, we can't get all the grass, but we can at least mow it so that do beware. I hate even bringing this up, but it is tick season. So I have found a couple ticks on the dog. I found one on myself and I almost died because Todd was out of town and I had to pull it out of myself. But anyway, so be careful. Try not to walk through the long grass, walk through the short mowed grass. So now that I've said that, is there anything else that needs to be mowed? Is there anything long that you have to walk through that I should mow? Or that
Actually, I have a suggestion. And this goes back to the horses that are on the diabetic or
the metabolic track.
Thank you, metabolic.
Yeah.
Thank you. So the horses that we work with, whether it's the central or even the round pen, the small round pen up by the parking lot, if all the round pens could be weed whacked to help minimize the greeny munching.
Yeah, got it. So I'll put the small round pen in there too.
Well, and outside the obstacle arena, I mean that happens.
Yeah.
Outside they're always sticking their head through the fence to weed whack.
Yeah,
that would be great.
Yeah,
I think we could get some of our do it anyway.
Maybe they could just do the mowing. Put our skinny horses there. Let them mow. That's what we should do.
True. Yeah. I was looking for a safe route to take Esperanza from the round pen, and when she sets her mind to like focusing in on the greens, like, oh my gosh, it took us 40 minutes to get her from the small round pen to,
Oh
probably
my
speaks to a lack of my skills, but I didn't want to push, but I also wanted to protect her and keep her from the grass. And at a point where we just were standing there for 20 minutes,
Oh
it's
my
like,
goodness.
I mean, she would not move because she
So
was being
maybe
stubborn. She went green. And so we
yeah.
went around. So it's like, all right, what's the lesser of two evils? Do we go like across the parking lot, which is a lot more, I guess,
Yeah.
distraction. And then we went around the south part of the barn, and it's like, oh my gosh, this is like a gauntlet. There's like rich green, down that whole
Oh,
path. And yeah, I mean, obviously, I probably need to work with Terry. It's like, okay, what do you do in these situations around Esperanza? But I was just like thinking of these danger zones, for the metabolic horses.
yeah. I mean, I think the road north of the barn is pretty, obviously there is grass on both sides, but it's pretty wide. So
Mm,
I feel like you might have a little more luck on that road. Or if there's no one in the barn, you could just go through the barn.
Right.
yeah.
So
Oh,
that
great
might,
suggestions. Thank you.
yeah.
Didn't
Yeah.
think of it at the time.
I know at the time you're like, okay. Okay. So I've got the new or the central round pen, the woodlands area, and then the small round pen and the obstacles arena, just the whole edging.
Mhm.
Awesome. All right. Sending to Todd. And sent. Okay. All right, now I won't forget. Yeah, I think that was it for the spaces. Any other questions about spaces, comments? Okay. I actually wanted to turn this next part over to Jackie. Jackie, you had an idea about sharing, having everyone share about their groups, or what their needs are, if they need help with groups, things like that. Do you remember what you wrote
Yeah,
exactly?
I just thought it would be a nice something to do with this group is that everybody can share, what we're doing, just to help support and to celebrate and just to know what we're all doing, as well as, needs for potential, volunteers or horse handlers or,
Mhm.
sharing resources like chairs. And it's just a lot of times I don't know what a lot of people are doing. I sort of do, but it'd just be nice for us to share with each other what we're doing in the
Yeah.
future too, because this will also help. We can refer people to each other's groups if we know we're doing that, rather than,
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes it gets on the Wild Song Practitioner Facebook page, but
I was gonna say we have that there, but I don't know if everyone is super active on that.
right. So
Yeah,
that's
so
what's
to announce that
something
here too. That's like a good. I
I
mean,
thought it would be nice for us to check in, in this group with each other and see what we're all doing. And, because the summer's coming and I think a lot of us have, some groups coming up and would love to get referrals and that kind of thing for our
yeah.
groups.
So I think, does that sound like a good idea to all of you for just one of our normal monthly bullet items to discuss? Because that sounds great to me, because that's exactly what we want this group to be. Like, I want it to be really helpful for all of you and beneficial. And I think, sharing and getting together and seeing each other once a month is great. And I think that's even better if you're talking about what groups you have and what events you have coming up. Yay, I love the thumbs up. I don't know where that came from. That was fun. But that sounds great. We can just add that as one of our normal monthly items. I typed a little note to myself to do that so that each month we'll say, okay, anyone announcements about groups coming up or needs that you have, or yeah, that sounds great. So, I mean, we can do that right now. Does anyone have any groups coming up in the next month or two? And then also, I would say to put it on the Facebook page, just so that people can like copy and paste or share it, that sort of thing. But then mentioning it here too is great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I can hop in because I forgot to mention it in my intro. I'm going to be starting a group for teens, middle schoolers who have OCD, struggling with OCD. And that's a broad definition. Anything that might land into like any kind of process around mental obsession, intrusive thoughts, struggles with perfectionism. Those pieces would also fit in the group. So all genders, 12 to 17, are welcome.
Cool. Yeah. And then if you wouldn't mind, putting a little plug for that on the practitioner Facebook group as well. And then people could share that. Or if you have like a flyer or, something like that, that works too.
Yeah, totally. On it.
Allison, when is that starting up?
Probably in the next couple of weeks. Mostly I'm asking a couple of my clients, and then just gonna, next couple of weeks probably. And I'm not sure of the day and the time yet. But if you have people who would be interested, I haven't done this before and I don't have a whole lot of referral sources. So the more the merrier. If you have anybody interested, then it can go from there. That'd be great.
Great. Thanks so much.
Yeah.
All right. Anyone else?
Jill, do you think this would be Oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Sandy. It's okay.
No, go ahead, Macy.
I was just gonna plug my group as well. I'm also doing a group for teens, teen girls, and it's gonna start the week after 4th of July and go for 4 weeks on Fridays. For like 14 to 17, working on empowerment, boundaries, emotions, consent, communication, just kind of general teen issues. So if y'all have girls that are interested, send them my way and I will have a flyer soon, Jackie, I promise.
Awesome. I have a weird question. Is my little face frozen for you guys, or is it just me?
It is for me.
It's not for me.
Weird. Okay.
So it's okay for me, but
yeah.
It's frozen.
Weird. Like it shows me on the top, but then it shows me down there, and the one on the top is moving and the one there is not. So I don't know. Oh, I just
now
that was weird. All right. Macy, anyone else? Groups or announcements, things you might need help with, things like that?
Yeah, since we're talking about the youth, I wanted to lean into I don't know where this is on the agenda. I'm traveling, so I'm just working off my phone and I have no laptop and no notes. But do you think now would be a good time to bring up Dr. Barrasso? Did you see that email?
That is next. So that's our last item. Well, that and then our next meetings. But yeah, if
Rachel has a group.
Rachel, do you want to?
Maybe before we transition to that, yeah, Jackie and I are going to be doing a grief group. It's for all kinds of grief. It could be a death loss, transition, chronic illness, anything like that. It's going to be a workshop, a day-long workshop. And then hopefully we'll follow up with a 6-week grief group later in the summer. So if you know anybody that might fit, please send them our way.
Okay, great. Yeah, again, like flyers on the page, that would be great because we could share them on our personal pages. Jackie, I just remembered you were also talking about having a place to post these.
Yeah,
I feel like we've done that before. Did we put it on the board just right by the sink?
Well, that's something I would love to like reconfigure the bulletin board in the staff lounge. And one thing I thought, what I wanted to do, and I've talked to a couple other people here because we have, practitioners that aren't at Wild Song but are doing really cool things in the community, and I would love, and I think some of us were saying would be nice to put their flyers up too, for what they do in the community, and have a place on the the board in the staff room,
Lounge.
the lounge. Yeah. It's just to increase a sense of, a wider sense of community.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
not just us Wild Song practitioners, but,
Yep.
these are our colleagues, and they're, because people work with veterans or, populations that I'm not sure a lot of us work with at Wild Song, or
Yeah.
that I would love if we could, think about reconfiguring the bulletin board in there. And I just put up a flyer for one of our colleagues, Jenny, is doing a group for, I forgot what it even was.
Is this a Jenny that we know?
Jenny Bernstead? No.
Okay. Bernstead? Yeah.
Bernstead.
Okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, that was that. And we've been putting our flyers up underneath our
Your pictures?
names or whatever, but
Yeah.
I mean, if it was more central, I've always thought it'd be nice to have also a pegboard or bulletin board behind the check-in screen for like notes,
Yeah.
a communication thing, like,
Yeah.
So anyway,
Yeah.
just it's about communication and then kind of expanding, our community.
Yeah. I have a question too. What would you guys think? So we have the Wild Song community page. Would these be the kind of groups that you'd want to post there on the community page?
I think so. And that used to be something we did. And also, I mean, when we had the monthly newsletter, we all would put
we
our
had that in there.
groups and, so-and-so's doing, when we get that Wild Song monthly newsletter out, that's another thing we're
hoping it'll be weekly and coming very
weekly.
soon. So yeah. So one other question then. So the community page is a yes. What about the broader Wild Song Ranch page? Is that too big?
Nothing's too big when you're marketing.
Okay, cool. Then we could do it on both. And feel free, if you have things, I think it would be just fine for you to post those there too. I mean, maybe just, send us a quick email like, hey, this is the flyer. Does this look okay? I can't imagine what you'd be doing that we would say, no, that's terrible, don't. But I guess just so that we know that it's coming out or whatever, and then we can,
So send it to you guys first.
Yeah, maybe just say, hey,
Okay.
is this something that's okay to post? And then I'm imagining that it will be. So
great.
And Joe, when you're referencing the community page and the Wild Song page, are you referring to Facebook or the website?
Oh, Facebook. Yeah. So on Facebook, there's a Wild Song Ranch page, which is open to, that's everybody. And then we have the Wild Song Ranch community, which is a group, and that's only open to people who are physically here. So our practitioners who are working here, our boarders, any of the students, like the Hatha Equa students that are coming here, because we put announcements, about what's going on here. Like, hey, the toilet is frozen today, so we have no bathroom facilities, or there's a big race and there's going to be a lot of traffic, so it's going to be hard to get in, or, things like that. So it's things that involve the people who are physically here. So that community is a lot smaller, the community group. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I just wasn't sure if it was Facebook or
Yes,
you're referencing
Facebook.
the web
Should have
page.
been more specific.
No worries. I just wasn't clear.
Yeah, thanks. All right. Anything else on the groups? If not, we'll turn a little bit of time over to Sandy. All right, Sandy, I think it's all you.
Great. Thank you so much. So I was introduced via email by a practitioner that's doing some research with youth out of Quebec, and she's going to be traveling through Colorado, specifically Boulder, the week of July 11th and the 17th. And while she was initially interested in just like, hey, Sandy, would love to meet you, and just would love to see like a collaborative practitioner space, and and see what just an example of this work in Colorado. And then I offered to, I got to learn more about her work that she's doing, just through just being curious, and asked if she would be open to sharing some of the results of the research that she's doing through the University of Sherbrooke, specifically youth that are, is it 12 to 17 or 12 to 15, um, ADHD, anxiety. And so she works with, Quebec has a different healthcare system, but she works with inner city community and also youth through schools. And she was specifically interested in the research that's been done by the Heart Math Institute around heart coherence. So I know this is not new work, but I just asked if she would be open to share, and she said she would, but I didn't know if this group would be interested in maybe having a group session and maybe a demonstration, just kind of like open. And if you had any questions for her, um, that I could take to her, and then she could kind of unpack. I just wanted to throw it out there as an offering to the group if this group would be interested in some of the results. So she's had two, and by the time in July, she should have the third session done where they've been collecting a lot of data. And I can
A
explain
bunch of
it.
thumbs up from somebody.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, did anybody have any questions? Can I answer or that I can pass along to Dr. Barasa? And if we scheduled something, it would be within that week. So I guess next steps, just kind of throwing it out there to the group.
Yeah. So is there anyone that sounds like they'd be interested?
Yeah, that sounds great. I'd love us to have more folks come in and do little presentations and stuff like that, just for our own knowledge. And yeah, that would be really cool. Thanks, Sandy. I think, yeah, I'll be there if I can.
So that's a question. If it's a class, how many people would you need to make that viable? You know what I mean? Like, if you have one person, maybe she wouldn't do that for that, but maybe you need at least 3 people or 5 people, or is there like some minimum number that she would need?
No, we're starting with, it's really still in the kind of curiosity stage. It seemed like there was interest from her with a few ideas, so I just thought I'd bring that idea to this group. And if it's something that you're interested in, then we can kind of explore it, like, and I can take those questions back to her. Like if she were to do a workshop, what would you want to see? Would you we could set up like a demonstration. We could invite some youth in from the community, and actually see a demo, and then she could share her results from her study and how she integrates this heart coherence in work with youth and the horse partners.
That sounds really interesting. Yeah. So what do you guys think? I feel like we might be having some technical difficulties.
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know if it's just on my end.
No, everybody's frozen.
Okay, Sam, you're not frozen, and Rachel's not frozen, but
Yeah, and Rachel's not.
yeah.
There's a little
So Sandy, I don't think people are ignoring you or me. I think we might have something technical going on. So
No one's frozen on my screen, but I would be really interested in that. So
okay, cool.
yeah, I've actually used the program before in school, so I would love to hear how to merge that with horses.
Okay.
Yeah. This is Macy, by the way. I don't know if you can see everyone, Sandy.
Yeah, I can. Yeah.
Okay.
So would you be interested in a demo and also just kind of like a mini lecture and share explanation of her work?
Yeah. Yeah. Whatever she has to offer, I am open to learning.
Yeah. And I don't think there's a requirement for this from her standpoint. I mean, she would just love just kind of a tour just to see the Wild Song space, and just to kind of see how we do this. So she's been doing her research at um, my one of my best friends who has her own facility up in Quebec. And yeah, she kind of wanted to see what it looks like here in Boulder. Um, Yeah, so as far as like working out the details, is there anybody else that would be interested in that? Even if it's a maybe, or if you just think that timing is not good for you.
Sandy, this is Rachel, and I think you know that I'm interested in it, and I would love to just hear about her research as well as like a demo would be great, and how it's used in real time with the
Okay.
horses. And hopefully the dates will work. I know I'm going to be going out of town sometime around that area in July, but as long as I'm here, I'll definitely be there.
Okay. And she did say her travel dates were somewhat flexible as well. So I got a maybe from Jackie, or at least three interested in if the timing is right.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like. Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Great. All right. If anyone else says, hey, I think I might be interested, you could either message Sandy or put a message in the Facebook or the WhatsApp group or the Facebook group. Yeah, that probably would also work.
Okay,
So
thanks. And then I have a call set up with her on the 24th. So I can, because I haven't actually met her in real time. Everything's just been back and forth email. Um, so I think what I can do is collect a little more information and put that in a brief kind of executive summary, kind of an outline, and then email it to the group. And if you have additional questions, if you're interested in, we can communicate that way too.
that sounds great.
Okay.
Yeah. For me, I feel like I need to see stuff written. I don't know what that is, but I don't do well with like auditory. I'm like, if I see it written, like it just sinks in more. So I think that's great to have something written that
I'm
people
right.
can read. Yeah.
I'm right there with you. Yeah. And I did
Okay.
not do it justice by explaining it either. So yeah.
No, I think it was good. I have trouble. That sounds weird. I have trouble listening. I don't know. I don't know what it is. Like I know in lectures, I'm like, can you just give me a textbook and I'll just read the material? Like, please don't lecture at me. Yeah. So, but I think that's just me. I'm just kind of weird like that. But yeah, I would love to see the written stuff.
Okay. All right, great. All right,
Thank
well,
you.
we'll see where this goes. If there's an interest in certainly collaborating with international folks and learning about their work too, will only just strengthen the work we do here. I don't know.
Yeah,
Not
I
that
don't
it
think
needs
there's ever a
strengthening.
harm. I don't think we can ever learn too much, right? Awesome. Thank you, Sandy.
Yeah, thanks for
Any other
adding it to the
questions?
agenda.
Yeah. Any other questions for Sandy then before we move to the very last item? All right. Thank you guys for sticking around. We just have our next meeting, so we wanted to have that out there so you can put on your calendars. The next one is June 20th. I will not be there, but the next meeting is June 20th. I guess that's one of my missed meetings for this 6 months, and that's at 7 p.m. as usual. And then the following meeting, the July meeting, will be on the 18th at 7 p.m. again. So mark your calendars, check them. If you need to miss, if there's something, let us know ahead of time. And that is it. Ooh, 8:01. That's not too bad. All right. Thank you. Thank you all. Any last thoughts before we
Thank you.
let you all go back to your families and your lives? All right. Thank you guys so much.
Thanks so much.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks
Good
for
night.
your time.
And
Have
thanks.
a good night.
Bye.
Good night, John Boy.
Night, Billy Bob. Good night, Joe Bob. See you later.
Mary Ellen. Yep.